Okay, so in regards to the ancient Egyptian religion in its true form, I am the last one of God, obviously, ever possible, and that's universal. The Egyptians aren't the only ones who would have seen it that way. When we look at the main Setians, who is Set to the Egyptians, right? Set was a deity of foreigners. And the main foreigners that were the most strange to them were whites and people who were Jewish-like. It's hard to say what kind of skin color they had, but certainly some of the people around them had white skin. And of course, that's where you get the idea of the color red and Set, right? The sun burning their skin, and they turn red. Again, I'm not racist, just telling you the facts here. So white people were to a large degree associated with Cronus, right? People who sacrificed their own children for barbarian ways, pagan ways, Roman ways, what have you. And they became associated with Set, as Set in his form Zeus and Jupiter is said to have colonized, right? Settlers colonized Europe, right? The rape of Europa by Zeus, whose Egyptian counterpart is Set. Look it up. If you think I'm wrong, look it up. If you think that white people aren't associated with Set to the Egyptian, how come white people themselves have explained it as Set is Zeus's counterpart, and Zeus is the main god of the Greek religion, of the Greek pagan religion, the Greek myths, what have you? Okay, so who would have thought that whites and Jews are screening me out, and Set is said to be associated with sexual immorality, including rape by deception, using psychology, everything they can to kind of get people to have sex in ways they otherwise wouldn't, with people they otherwise wouldn't. And so we see that LGBT people are firmly associated with Setians. And as history, as time went on in ancient Egypt, you see that they start doing parodies and they start insulting the religion, they start mocking the religion because they knew that they were at the bottom of the barrel in the religion, right? Set and Apep were considered the least desirable deities. People didn't want them around, what have you. So as they resorted to trade route treachery, right? Bel, their Middle Eastern counterpart, who's a deity of merchants, right? As they got wealthy through trade route activity, because, they probably made a big fuss. And people were like, well, just let them control the trade routes, so they shut up and leave us alone and let us have some kind of peace. And it probably worked for hundreds of years. And lots of people probably saw it coming and they stopped reproducing. And so that exacerbated the problem, and the world went straight to hell. By the time you get here, it is insane for people to think that they should have children. I mean, there's few things that are crazier than that. Okay, there are Setians and Apepians everywhere. When Christ is a character in the story said, you brood of vipers, you think it was a compliment? You think it has nothing to do with Apep and Set? And as the Egyptians say, Set became associated with Apep.